This film is such a great example of how similar comedy and horror are, because it's just a what if scenario. It's a what if scenario played to the extreme, and then you either play that for laughs or for scariness. And there is a moment in this film where I was so uncomfortable that I ended up laughing because it was so scary. So I'm here to talk about Obsession. I kind of feel like I have to throw the spoiler tag up right away just because I can't really talk about this film without jumping straight into it. If you're sort of on the fence about whether to go see it, then I guess I can try and sway you before I throw spoilers up of I think it's really good. It's also really, really scary. So factor that in. But yeah, I think I'm just going to do spoilers so I can get into it. So spoiler warning, we're going to jump into it. This film's incredible. This film is really good. And I haven't stopped thinking about it since I've seen it. I always say the sign of good art, the sign of good art is when I'm thinking about it afterwards. And for me, the sign of good horror is when I can't fucking sleep that night. And I had trouble sleeping that night afterwards. It really surprised me how good it was. And everything you hear, the performances are incredible. Like you're simultaneously like terrified, but you're like also just impressed by like the filmmaking of it and the performances. So yeah, and for me, this film did two things that I have wanted to see in not just horror film, but in filmmaking in general, is I've wanted to see a shift. I've wanted to see an actor play kind of two characters, or he's got a mask, let's say, like you think he's good and then like he's like, and then no, actually I'm evil or something like that. And see James McAvoy in Split, sort of like that. And I think you're going to see a lot of that because it really is a way for actors to explore their range. And I think Indy Navarrete is tremendous in it. And there are moments in the film where after the wish is done and the real Nikki pokes through, because she's like all possessed, and then like suddenly she's like, and she screams, and it's you immediately understand what's going on, and it is just so impressive to watch. It's so cool. These little like moments of when real Nikki pokes through, and it's just the actress, like she's having to play that. So yeah, I mean, yeah, everything's been said about her. She's phenomenal. And the guy is also just really good. He's really great because he holds his own against this like insanity that's unfolding in front of him. And yeah, the filmmaking, I mean, shout out Curry Barker and his team, I guess. I hope that they all get compensated because it's making millions and millions of dollars. Oh, yeah, where to begin? Oh, sorry, the second thing that I've always wanted to see is playing with physicality, is playing with, it's like, let's bring dancers back into theater, you know what I mean? I feel like for so long there's been these film actors, and it's very like, it's very stiff. It's very stiff. And it's like, no, can we fucking move? Can we like, and I guess it's not real, but I think with horror, that's why sorry, I'm jumping all over the place because I'm excited to talk about this film, but like that's why horror is so exciting, and we're like these. I feel like a lot of the creative filmmaking is happening because you are allowed to jump into the unreal and play with things. And there is a part again with Nikki where she fucking stop motion backwards walks. It's so scary. But I was like, yes, because I've wanted to see shit like that. And I've not seen Smile 2, but I've heard Smile 2 is really, really good, so I will check that out. And even the new Resident Evil trailer has like the arms and legs coming out of the door. That also looks really cool. So yeah, I was just excited to see those two things. I was like, yes, like, I don't know, it's fucking good, and it has its finger on the pulse, and it has just hit at such a right time. And it's just really cool. The performances are insane. The weird body movements are amazing. The editing is so good. The sound is so good. Her screams are so good, and the way they play with shadows. Sorry, I've got like notes. Yeah, the way they play with shadows, like there are long scenes. That's another thing, is he's not afraid to just hold the shot too. It's very minimal almost in its approach of just these like two characters talking, and it's just kind of, I don't want to say shot reverse shot because that makes it sound boring, but it is that. But it's more like they won't cut, like they'll just hold on a character, like one character, and a lot of the time she's like in darkness. Like you just sort of get like little glistens of the eye, and it's really unsettling because you can't quite read her facial expressions, and it's, I don't know, it's just really good. They really use what they had, and the performances feel authentic as well. It doesn't feel cringy. It doesn't feel like old people writing young people. Like they just feel like people. I've barely scratched the surface of this film. Like there's that. Oh, sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. This film has jump scares, but it doesn't feel cheap because they telegraph the jump scares, which I think works so well. There'll be like a scene and you know it's coming. You know something's coming, and you're just like, oh my god, like this film puts you in fight or flight mode. Like it puts you in a situation and you were just like, and when I was talking earlier about like you just laugh, it was when I'm pretty sure it's when she's in the bedroom in the shadows and he's like come to bed and she's just kind of hiding in the shadows and she sort of steps out and then again steps sort of back, and it looks like they sort of reverse the full footage, and it's just so unsettling and creepy that I just started laughing. And there was moments like that because it's just, you're like, oh my god. And there are moments of levity. There are like when the friend wishes for like $1 billion and it just starts raining down money. Like just a great moment of levity. And even the guy at the store, the way people react to the wish. Sorry. Oh my god. I've talked to friends of like, it's so like you almost at a point you're like, I'm sort of ready for this to be over now because it's so tense. And yeah, I don't think I've been this tense and scared in a film. I don't even know. Maybe since like Hereditary, or like, yeah, I watch a few horror films, and that's the other thing. This film, again, the pacing doesn't dip. Pacing is fantastic. It's a simple concept executed so well, and it ends very satisfyingly. It ends in a way it's fantastic. And I feel like I've watched a few horror films lately that just they kind of fumble the ending. And not to vague post, if you're curious, like, oh, what was he talking about? I've watched Antlers and Longlegs, and both those, I feel like they start really strong and then they just kind of, I don't know, like you sort of learn the twist and then you're just kind of waiting for it to end. Or with Longlegs, it becomes a bit goofy, I feel. There's like a sort of tonal shift. It doesn't quite work, and I think Nick Cage is a bit to blame with that. But this film, I think they're smart in getting the kind of supernatural element introduced and out of the way very early on. Like the wish, snap, boom. Like it's like maybe in the first 15 minutes, and so it's like, okay, now we can tell the story. Like you're on board, suspend the disbelief, let's go. And I think that's really smart to do that. And yeah, oh my god, I was so scared at the end. I was so scared that because there's like another Willow wish, and you just know, it's like Chekhov's gun, like it's placed there, you're like, oh my god, Nikki's gonna wish something. I was so scared that she was gonna wish for him to be immortal. So when he's got the gun in the bathroom, bam, like he shoots himself, he doesn't die, and then goes through, and it's like, now we can be together forever, and he's just locked in this kind of psycho relationship for the like eternity. I was so scared that was what was going to happen. So I'm really happy that didn't happen. And yeah, the way it ends and the way the spell is ultimately broken and Nikki's just like left there and she's freed. And yeah, there's a lot of depth to this film. I think, you can just watch it sort of surface level and have fun with it, but I think there is so much depth to it. Like I would love to have a discussion with someone to just talk about all the elements in the film, because it becomes very clear over the course of the film that the main character Bear is a cowardly piece of shit, where you are like screaming at the screen for this guy to just like do something. And yeah, it becomes very incredibly toxic, and especially when you realize that Nikki, the real Nikki, is trapped, and it's almost like this like date rape drug metaphor of like she's trapped in her body that she has no control over, and her body is being used by the entity and then also being used by Bear, and it's horrific. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's gonna be the meme of like if you don't get it, but I feel like it's quite obvious that she's the real villain. You know, and when she pokes out and she's like, it's not, and she's screaming like, it's not me, I'm not doing this. And she tries to reason with Bear, and he sort of doubles down. And I guess in the sort of delusional guy way of like, no, I can fix this, I can make it work. And it's like the whole world is falling around you, and it's like, you really need to do something. But yeah, like I said, I don't know. I'm rambling, I'm jumping over because I'm just excited to talk about it. But I would love to have like do a podcast or something like that to just talk about the sort of layers of it, and the way I guess with like modern people keep like it's this great commentary on modern dating and things like that. And I've seen people say, oh, if Bear was just honest from the start, if he had just told her he liked her, he could have had a good relationship. And well, I think that's an interesting thought. Like I don't think so. I think when the friend, he's like, take your woman home right at the start, and Nikki says like, ew, don't call me that. And then there's like an exchange. He's like, and it's like, yeah, no, like she's not into you in that way, dude. Like, it's not gonna happen. You should have told her, and then just like move on, and maybe it's awkward for a while, but yeah, get it out of the way. But I mean, yeah, he doesn't. There's no way he would think the wish is actually going to work. Like, oh, it's just so insane. It's really strong. I mean, the restaurant scene isn't. I would say the most like awkward scene is the scene with the friends and they bring her along. That is like painful to watch. That like my thumbnail of like dating a theater kid. Like there are some theater kids that don't have any shame, and it sort of feels like that of like, oh, like there's just no, because she's that obsessed. She is going to walk through fire and flame for this guy. She is going to, yeah, it is. It's so much to talk about. It is really good. The car scene with the friend. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is like Nikki's coming. You're just waiting. You're just waiting for her to come. So yeah, it's like this. It finally happened. I guess these execs, I think, are like, we don't know what people want. Like, we thought they liked Mandalorian and Grogu. Like I think they're just gonna hire a bunch of YouTubers now. It's happening. I mean, I think Markiplier played a big hand in that, and we've got Backrooms. I'm gonna go see that. Jacksepticeye is producing the Bloodborne movie. I mean, I don't think he'll have much of a creative hand in it. I think that is just for his following. But yeah, I think video games and YouTubers. I think that's going to be the next well that Hollywood digs into. The only thing I wanted to say was just how I found this movie was like, it's interesting that like what makes it through the algorithm and what doesn't, because I think I was just scrolling Instagram one day and it was like, actress gives good performance in like new horror film. I was like, oh, okay, scroll past, and then suddenly it was everywhere. I was like, is this the same? It was like, oh, this clip again. They're like, no, like, and then I remember thinking like, okay, it was like a few days later. I was like, I'm just gonna go see this film because I don't want it spoiled for me. And luckily enough, I live in Darwin, Australia, and it was showing in my theater, so I was able to go see it. And then after that, I mean, you reap what you sow. The film's called Obsession. It felt like the internet was obsessed. It was everywhere. Like, there's Indy Navrit's everywhere. Curry Barker, the guy that plays Bear. I'm blanking on his name, but yeah. So it's just crazy what kind of bubbles to the surface, and it's cool. It's a great sort of indie breakthrough movie, and I'll be excited to see what happens next, I guess. Oh, just on the algorithm thing, yeah, because I was going to say that was it the one with Sam Rockwell, like good night, like don't die, good luck, good night, good luck, don't die, whatever it is. That just came and went. And I was so surprised because that's Gore Verbinski who did Pirates of the Caribbean. And Sam Rockwell, I feel like everybody loves Sam Rockwell. And the trailer I thought looked really interesting and cool, and so many cool visuals, and I just didn't go anywhere in the algorithm. And I don't know, maybe there's just a good chance that it's just not that good. Like that sometimes is often the case, you know, like a lot of things get overblown of like what's good, what's bad, you know, like it's the best thing ever, it's the worst thing ever, and you usually find like it's somewhere in the middle. All right, this video is getting a bit long, so yeah, Obsession, really, really good. Highly recommend.